What's going on, everyone? So, Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent are coming alive for the Lakers at the perfect time. Talked about both guys individually. Well, then they decided to follow up on a night where they both dropped 20 points. Not only did they both drop 20 points, but they were like great on both sides of the basketball. Also, you had LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and Luka Doncic have terrible offensive games. Like all three of them were not great offensively, right? And you needed every bit of Gabe Vincent and Dorian Finney-Smith's offense and scoring. And I'm not expecting those two guys to give you 40 points on a nightly basis, but they have been much better. They have been much more consistent. Reports came out not that long ago that, kind of Rui and Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent and, a couple other the guys kind of talked about how, hey, we need to realize that we're wide open on these shots, right? We don't need to rush them. We don't need to do anything. Luka and LeBron and Reeves are generating like wide open looks because teams aren't worried about Gabe Vincent and Dorian Finney-Smith. They're worried about LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves, right? Like, so they have just all this real estate to get their shot off, right? I mean, there's times where teams don't even challenge because they're worried that they kick it out to LeBron or Luka, and now they're backpedaling or whatever, right? And just putting them in these compromised positions. But, this is a huge benefit from those guys, right? You're talking about two of your top, 7 guys on the roster. Talk about 2 guys that are going to be looked to be defensive pieces, be part of the defensive anchor and identity of this team while also being able to hit shots. They're 2 of our only real 3-and-D guys on the roster. I mean, Jordan Goodwin's shooting like 42% from three-point range on the season for the Lakers. I think it's 42.9, but, he's a guy that, how many minutes is he going to get, right? He's like the 9th guy, right? Where, again, Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent, I mean, they're guys you could start on any given night, right? They're guys that, are probably going to play big, significant roles. And you need those guys to have that confidence. And they're finding that confidence and they're hitting their stride right into the playoffs. And that's when you want them to be at their best. Because now that they're getting that confidence and they're getting that little swagger and they're kind of building, you're going to go into the playoffs. And it's like they're just carrying it over, right? And you look at guys like Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent, they're guys that have experience, right? They're guys that have been in playoff series, that have gone to conference finals and stuff, right? Gabe Vincent is a guy that is looked at as a ceiling raiser in the playoffs. He's a guy that actually is usually better in the playoffs than he is in the regular season. He's not afraid of the moment. I mean, he was on the Miami Heat team that he was their second best player, on many nights their best player, right? Hitting big shot after big shot, initiating the offense, running the offense, doing all these things. And some of that, to an extent, he is going to need to be on the Lakers, right? He is that perfect prototype point guard for a team that has LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves, right? Talking about 3 guys that, they're the ones that are the offensive engine. They are the ones that are there to initiate or to, facilitate and score the basketball and get other guys set up and stuff. Gabe Vincent's a guy you're looking to bring the ball up, initiate the offense, essentially give it to one of those 3, and then just be an off-ball movement style of shooter. And he's doing it seamlessly. Same thing with Dorian Finney-Smith, being that rebounder, that hustle play, that versatile defender that can defend 1 through 5. Gabe Vincent, his ability to defend and even defend big at times, right? And be effective and get after it. And, they're the guys that they're there to do the dirty work. They're there to make the hustle plays. They're there to, lay their bodies on the line and do these things. The little nuanced things that are so important and impactful come playoffs. Right? The difference between you winning and losing a game or a series, right? The playoffs in particular, so often are they decided by just these little sequences, right? These little moments, that really go unnoticed in the grand scheme. But if you really kind of, watch it and pay attention to, it's like, oh man, that key steal or that key block or that key charge or whatever. And in just the right moments, those are what those two are there to do, right? Those two are there to be those guys. A great example is the Denver series, right? Last season, Lakers look good, right? Denver throws their punch. Then there's the sequence where shot goes up, they miss it, scrambling. Aaron Gordon gets the rebound, kicks it out to Michael Porter Jr. He hits the three, and the Lakers are tied, and then Denver ends up beating us, right? Well, you had Aaron Gordon, who tracked the ball, chased it down, got the ball, and kicked it out. That hustle play, that sequence was the difference in the game, right? And that's what Dorian Finney-Smith, that's what Gabe Vincent are there to do. They're there to be that difference maker, those little nuance pieces, right? Whatever they give you from an offensive standpoint is really looked at in a lot of ways as icing on the cake, but you need them to be those impactful offensive players. Again, not 20. I'm not expecting them to combine for 40 a night. I'm not expecting either to even one of them to average 20 a night. But can they be guys that can just get you, 8 to 12 points a night, right? Sometimes it's maybe one guy is giving you 8, one guy is giving you 12. Right? Can they combine, for 20 and just have that game, right? Luka, LeBron, and Reeves are probably going to win you 3 out of 4 games a series, right? Luka can win you a game by himself. LeBron can win you a game by himself. And Reeves has shown you that he can win a game by himself. So those 3 guys, chances are going to win you 3, if not at worst, 2 games, right? I think that's comfortable that you can say that, right? You're going to have a game where they all go off or one of them goes off and you'll win a game or 2. The other game or 2 is really going to come down to the role guys. And having guys like Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent really step up and elevate. And this Houston game was a perfect game and example for that. This was a huge game with multiple implications, right? You're fighting for seeding. You're trying to catch them in the standings. Houston wins. They lock up the playoffs, right? Worst that they can fall is the 6th seed and all that, right? Lakers have had their struggles recently, coming off a huge win against Memphis that you needed badly, and now you're playing this game and you're going up against Houston, who has just been on a roll. They've been killing it. They won, 12 out of 13 games going into this, right? Like, they've been cruising and just playing excellent basketball, defense, hustle, everything, hitting shots, right? A team that, is a very young, exciting team. And if I told you going into that game that LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves would all be terrible offensively, all of them, myself and everyone else would have been like, so Lakers are getting blown out, right? So Lakers are losing by 40. Got it, right? And they didn't, right? In a huge game with multiple implications, your 3 best players struggled mightily offensively. They all did other things. They all, I thought, were really good defensively. Luka had some nice sequences. Reeves had some nice sequences. And then obviously LeBron. LeBron was great and had that huge block. And right, so they made plays, rebound, assist, all that stuff. But offensively, they struggled. It wasn't by any stretch of the imagination anywhere close to any of their best offensive games. And your 2 key role players that are so important and valuable off the bench came in and said, we got it. Don't worry about it. You guys are carrying us on any given night. You need us, call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far, right? But in all seriousness, it was great to see those 2 with such confidence and continued confidence that's so, I can't express more how important that is. How, those 2 could be the difference between us winning a championship or not. Genuinely. Their hustle, their grit, their defense, them being able and their ability to knock down shots. If they shoot a respectable percentage during the playoffs, that opens everything up. Teams have to respect that. Teams have to worry about that, right? Like Houston was like, okay, we'll make Gabe Vincent and Dorian Finney-Smith beat us. And they did, right? Like they did. And if they can do that and win you a game or two during each playoff series, Lakers can win the championship. Like without a doubt can win the championship. Because who else, like which guys are stepping up? Right? Especially once you start getting in the later rounds where, everybody has multiple stars or players or, guys that can just go off. And then it's like, okay, that fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth guy becomes so much more important, so much more impactful, right? To have two guys in Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent that you can trust and rely on is so important. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. How do you feel? What are your thoughts? What did you make of their performance? Were you impressed with what you saw from them? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it either way, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot, so we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.